the Draco Malfoy actually killed him with his super unicorn powers. The Draco Malfoy actually killed him with his super unicorn powers. Hi guys, this is Anusha and welcome to my new channel, Fan Rant. If you have been watching some of my previous videos, you will know that I have been sort of reading some short one-shot fanfictions on Harry Potter in fanfiction.net, and I've been reading them, reacting to them, and reviewing them for you guys. And as I mentioned in my last video, from this video, we're going to be looking at the other side of the spectrum. What that means is, obviously, in the previous few videos, I've been reading some short fan fictions on the favourite end of the list of the criteria that we've been looking at. Now, today, we're going to look at some stories on the other end of the list. So we're going to have a quick read through them, going to react to them, going to review them, and we're going to take it from there. We'll see if there's any big differences between the stories that get a lot of favorites and stories that probably won't get that many favorites, and see if they are better, if they are worse, and if any of them could be improved and how they can be improved potentially. So without further ado, I'm just going to go right into it and get this sorted. So we're just going to go. So I'm just going to go into the actual website for fanfiction for this, because on the app it doesn't give me pages, so I have to scroll, so it's very difficult to get to the last page, whereas in the website you can just simply click on the last page and get to the last story. So I've just gone on and I've looked at the website. So we're going to do the same thing we did on the app as before. So we're going to go into books, Harry Potter, going to filter, going to do the same filters we did on the app the last few videos. So I'm going to sort it by favorites, going to do all ratings, length less than 1,000 words, going to leave the world part alone, language, English, status complete, and we are looking at stories about Harry himself to start off the channel with. Obviously, I will probably go on and do some other stories about other characters mainly in the future, but for now, okay. So as you can see, some of the stuff that we did with the last videos have come up. So we did Oops, we did Harry Potter and Here There Be Dragons, Voldemort, and Buddy, Mind and Soul. So those were the stories that we did the last few videos. Most of them, obviously, if you guys have watched my videos, will notice that most of these tend to be in the humor side, except the last one we did on my last video, Body, Mind and Soul. That was pretty angsty, pretty dark. The sort of take on sort of Harry Potter, but it was interesting. Right, so as I said, I'm going to click on the last page. I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to see the last sort of story. Prompt, put a cover. This is a prompt for other writers. Okay. Harry, Hermione, Ginny, Luna. So this isn't a story per se, but it's a prompt. I think we should click on it and just sort of find out what it is. It's a prompt. So basically a prompt is, so they put out an idea out there for someone to write about that idea. I wonder if anyone did. Is there any... there's no comments or anything, so no one's commented to say if they have done this and put this into a story. But let's see what the prompt is. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? I mean, there's no bad ideas, but let's have a look. This is a prompt. Hermione, Harry, Luna, and Ginny travel to an island owned by Harry's family for the week to have sun in the sun. I'm guessing fun in the sun, if that's meant to be. However, upon apparating, they make a shocking discovery. The island is enchanted to make anyone who visits lose all their clothes, forcing the four to spend their vacation naked. I see. Okay. This can be a comedy, drama, smart parody. Really, I just want to see what other writers can come up with. I don't know if this is the right place to put this. I'm still getting used to challenges and prompts. Okay. Um, Not my kind of thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. Um, Probably not something I would consider writing about. Okay, I should tell you guys that I have written fanfiction stories, but I've never posted them. Sounds a bit hypocritical, I know. I might at some point post them on this sort of fan rant, but we'll see. See how many people want me to do that. Okay, so let's go back and let's look at the next one. That doesn't count. Tribute to a Playboy, R-rated just to be on the safe side. Harry gets in trouble. Complete. R-rated just to maybe give that one a miss for now. Um, Playboy R-rated sounds like a bit of a graphic little story. Um, Yes, I'm going to skip that one for now. Might come into to it in the future, but next one, The Unfortunate Dead. Okay, by Lexi Queenie. This story in summer was written by a 7-year-old. It is about Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter dying, sadly. Wow. Okay. It's 5 reviews. Not a lot of faves and such. Um, okay. Written by a 7-year-old. You know what? I think we're going to go into it. I'm going to read it. Um, let's, let's have a go. It's tragic slash humor. Obviously, we know humor is sort of being a big indicator in these short stories. Let's have a look. Very short. Obviously, the rating is quite low, I suppose. That's because it's written by 7-year-olds. I don't see anything graphics going to be in there. LexiQueen.lily.arctic. Okay. Let's have a little read of the author's note at the top. I gave my sister a chance to write her own fanfiction story. This is what she produced. I wrote and she told me what to, or I can assure you that the spelling would be atrocious. It's rather interesting, to say the least. I must warn you, this could permanently affect your mental health and cause a descent in IQ. Read at your own risk. I'm intrigued by the idea. I mean, the fact that it's written by a 7-year-old sort of wrote fan fiction, and I suppose that's what fan fiction's all about. It's about all sorts of people coming in and putting their ideas out there. It doesn't necessarily mean that it should be good ideas or bad ideas. There's no bad ideas, I believe. But it gives a 7-year-old a chance to put their own version of stories in play, to take the characters and sort of play with them and give them sort of twists and turns. In this case, apparently they're dying, which I'm going to admit is a little bit mortifying for a 7-year-old to come up with a fan fiction where the two characters die. Let's have a read of it. I'm sure it'll be interesting, to say the least. Once upon a time, there lived a handsome boy named Draco Malfoy. He was 12 years old. One day, Draco decided he wanted to go to an awesome castle named Hogwarts. Okay, very interesting. He's going to Hogwarts at 12. I guess the 7-year-old sister hasn't clicked on that they go to Hogwarts when they're 11, not 12, but okay, it's fine. It's fan fiction. But one day he met a boy named Harry Potter. He had a lightning scar, and it was his first day when Draco Malfoy met him. Unfortunately, Harry Potter had a secret he would not tell one single peep of, because it was a really big secret. The secret was that every night he turned into a big scary spider. But Draco Malfoy had a secret too. It was a different secret, and that secret was every night he turned into a unicorn. I absolutely see that this is written by someone who's 7 years old. Um, this was posted back in 2019, so obviously that child is a bit more grown up now. 4 years on, they must be 11, old enough to go to Hogwarts themselves at this point. But I can see it. So essentially, Harry turns into a big spider at night, so he doesn't tell anyone, and Draco turns into a unicorn. Spider and unicorn. Okay. Well, at least both creatures play heavily in Harry Potter, the first and second book, likely. Um, there's big Harry Potter themes and unicorn themes in Harry Potter, so at least it's related, right? Hey guys, it's related. Um, One night, Draco Malfoy went into Harry Potter's room at Hogwarts. He saw Harry Potter as a big, scary spider. So Draco Malfoy actually killed him with his super unicorn powers. So Draco Malfoy actually killed him with his super unicorn powers. Right. Only the mind of a 7-year-old. Then suddenly, in the morning, Draco Malfoy forgot all about it and then went into Harry's room because he was not coming anywhere anytime. And he was so dramatic. So dramatic, Harry. Because Harry Potter was dead. He screamed and jumped up and down crying before going and eating marshmallows. He told the head of Hogwarts that Harry Potter died on his second day. Then suddenly the marshmallows became too much and Draco Malfoy sadly died too. Huh, everyone cried. The end. It was a sad story. Sounds ending to a sad story written by a 7-year-old. I totally can see it's written by a 7-year-old. It's the kind of things that a mind of a child can come up with. Um, Draco's sad and crying, so he's gonna eat marshmallows. But marshmallows became too much, and Draco Malfoy sadly died too. I can sort of like see a parent telling a child that too much marshmallows is bad for you. Not necessarily that it would kill you. I think that's a bit extreme to tell a child, but I can see how a child might see it that way. And obviously, clearly, the child concept of death isn't very well developed, I would imagine. Otherwise, I don't think there would be a death theme in the story. It seems a bit playful. Let's have a look. To begin, this is the creator. Hola, I know that most of you people have read this and cried because this is the first most saddest story I've ever wrote. Thank you for reading, and yeah, adios. Oh, is that from like the 7-year-old sister? Author's note. So that just happened. Please remember that my sister is 7 and this is her first fanfiction ever. Try not to be too nasty, even if this is the strangest thing I have ever read. Please. Okay. Let's have a little read of the reviews first, see what people have said. Sadly, it's not even close to the worst I have ever read. I agree. Yes, unfortunately, some people write the fanfiction, put it on there, and that's great, but sometimes it's frustrating to see those people haven't even tried. No one's got to be skilled author. No one in fanfiction is supposed to be a skilled author. If you're a skilled author, you actually publish a book. But putting something out there, not even trying, at least where simply reading your own fanfiction back to yourself would sort so much of the problems. See the next comment. Just a big secret. Maybe sometimes it is better to share your secrets and nobody gets surprised. Very sad that they only got to spend one day at Hogwarts Castle. Yes, I agree. Funny and very 7-year-olds. true. I feel kind of sad. Poor Spider, hated by everyone. I love you, sis. I see a bright future in dramatic story. And the last one's just sweet. How about we go back and click on the author themselves, see if they've done Sashi Prince, Atari, Gurgle, Minus Serious Money Remus, HP Prince, I Can't Stand, Harry Ginny, come on, the girl looks like his mother. That's just wrong in so many ways. Well, is it though that there is a saying that we all end up with our like parents and partners, so it's not actually that far fetched. Um, no, just no. That is so Hermione run up to that is wrong. God, no, I can't stand Ron. Hermione could do so much better than it. I like Ron. He's a sweetheart. He's relatable. Like I can totally know people who are like him, who are have a kind heart. They're loyal, but they're just frustrated. They often feel like they're looked over because he's the youngest brother in seven. In so many, there's more than seven, I think. Yeah, seven children. He's the youngest brother, and after him was the first girl in the family born, who would have been doted as being the youngest and the only girl. I can see how Ron would have often felt overlooked. And then he befriends someone like Harry, who's famous. In a way, Harry and Hermione become his unique things, but at the same time, among them, he feels the least adequate. Like Ron's point of view, and certainly his negative actions are so understandable when you sort of break down his character, which his apologies and the way he makes up for them in the end becomes even the more sweeter for it. Because then you realize that despite all of that, he's just got such a big heart. I disagree. I think Ron and Hermione work. I for sure know, um, when you look at them character wise, that they are. Ron, anyone, nobody in their right mind would go out without Weasel. Stand by my reason that Hermione must have been brain damaged when she married Ron. I disagree. I I disagree. I like Ron. Harry and Hermione, no. They're too much big personalities. They need something to temper each other out. Canon, I understand. Ginny, Harry, I get it. Um, Not something I would go for in a fan fiction, to be honest, because it's complete in canon. But like, yeah, no, I for canon it works. For fan fiction, where it's a little bit things can get a little bit more out there, maybe. But why don't you go? They fight so much, but they look so good together. Gryffindor Princess and Slytherin Prince, a match made in heaven. I agree, but I tend to go for more Harry Draco purring. Um, Not necessarily because they're two males, but generally because like what you said, the Harry's the he's this Draco's a Slytherin priest. Harry's is the Golden Gryffindor. From the Golden Trio. It kind of works. It's that opposite track thing. Um, More so than Harry and Hermione work. Okay. The author has written a few stories themselves, not a lot of reviews. Um, most of them. There is one which is not complete, updated in 2019, so not going to be updated in time. So 15 chapters, has 46 reviews. For me, I worked out this sort of equation, I would say, maybe, about sort of comments in fanfiction. You might disagree with me, you might agree with me, but basically, what I believe is In fanfiction, more people tend to write a comment if they like your story than if they don't. The more comment you've got, the more people have liked it. They've read all the way to the end because they've enjoyed it. And yeah, sometimes they might give you sort of critical views, um, but they're trying to sort of help. It's not like other internet-based, comment-based places where people can be cruel. Um, I sort of worked out a theory that if you are updating a chapter a week, if you can get 10 reviews per chapter, then that's a good, decent amount of reviews per chapter. So if you have a 15 chapter story, I would consider 150 reviews a good number rather than 46. Especially, this doesn't look like it was once a week because it was published in 2017, updated in 2019 across 2 years, and it hasn't been updated since. So I don't think we'll be going into them. We'll probably go for other ones after this in the next session. But yeah, that's sort of my idea. Having said that, though, I do want to give the unfortunate death that we just read a like, because it was written by a 7-year-old, and for a 7-year-old, I'm going to give the story a favorite. Being written by a 7-year-old is it's good. It's encouraging. It's meant to be encouraging a 7-year-old. I see bright future for that 7-year-old. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. So obviously that wasn't as great a story, but as good a story as the other ones that we read in the previous videos. But that was what the idea was about. It was sort of looking at the other end and seeing the less liked stories. Obviously, we didn't come across a particular one. If this was a certain criteria, which would make it understandable for it to be not that particularly on the favorite end. But being written by a 7-year-old, it certainly did look good. Yeah, so next video we're gonna maybe find a story, like a proper one-shot story, and sort of are on the low favorited list, and sort of go through that and see how they improve. So this particular one didn't exactly work out like what I thought, but we'll certainly get into it with the next one, and we'll see what happens. If you have been enjoying my videos so far, please like and subscribe. So it would encourage me to keep on making them, and who knows what else I'll be reacting and reviewing to in the future. I'm certainly not going to restrict myself just to fan fiction. I hope to be making some other forms of reaction videos in the future. But for now, start of these fan fictions. Once I do a couple of these sort of good versus bad, I might go in and get some multi-chapter stories in, kind of like a TV show reaction, but to fan fiction. And then we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, so please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed. And give me that little boost to keep on making these videos. And yeah, leave me comments. Let me know if you are enjoying this, what else you would like to see from me, and so on. So I would look into making them. Well, thanks for today, guys. I've enjoyed making today's video. Until next time, see you guys.